Next on the list, Honorable Michael Ostrowski. Please step forward to be reappointed to the Superior Court. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Yes, thank you. Now you've raised your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony about to give here today is true, correct, complete, to best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
I swear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please begin with your opening remarks, Your Honor.
Thank you. Chairman Stack, Vice Chair Poe, Senators of this esteemed committee, good morning. Thank you for providing me with this opportunity to present myself in consideration for reappointment as a Superior Court judge. At this time, I would like to extend my special thanks to Governor Murphy for nominating me, Valentina DePippo for all of the hard work in this process. I would also like to acknowledge and thank Deidre Naughton for all of her hard work throughout this process, and of course my assignment judge who is present, Benjamin Telsey, and my secretary, Natalie. Very special thanks and recognition to my family, my wife, Doris, my son, Michael, stepdaughter, Amelia, for always loving me, being there, and supporting me throughout. Being a Superior Court judge has been the greatest experience of my professional career. It is a calling, and it is one that continually rewards me with wonderful experiences. I have been fortunate to serve as a family judge for the entirety of my time. While I would accept a transfer to any docket, there is something special about the family court. It was said to me when I first became a judge that it is a blessing to have a job where your primary obligation is to hear the case and do what you believe is right to do under the circumstances. Truer words have never been spoken. It would be an absolute honor to continue my service in this capacity. While it has been almost 7 years since becoming a judge, that process started much earlier than that. From the moment the notion of being a judge came to pass through the present, and hopefully well into the future, there is one person who has been most instrumental in making all of this possible. All of the joy and reward of being a judge would never have been possible without one very special person who has been a rock of support throughout, especially the initial process. He is a member of this committee. He is my hometown district senator. He is a friend to the judiciary and justifiably holds us all to a high standard. I would not be here today without Senator Michael Testa. Senator, I cannot thank you enough for all you have done for me, all the support and encouragement you have provided me over these many years. You are responsible for the opportunities presented to me, and I hope I have made you proud of your endorsement and mostly your friendship. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Any members have any questions at this time? Seeing none, Senator Testa.
I just have a comment. I got to know Judge Ostrowski when he was an assistant prosecutor in Cumberland County. We had many cases against each other. And the fact that we had so many cases against each other, and I still hold him in high regard as a friend, as a person who holds the law in such high regard, as a person who exemplifies what a judge should be. I was merely only the county chairman when I was involved in the process 7 years ago. I can't believe it's been 7 years already, Judge. And I can tell you to a T, every single attorney that I know in Southern New Jersey that appears before Judge Ostrowski always gives a glowing report. They say how he treats litigants fairly, how he treats attorneys fairly, and something that Senator Bramnick brings up quite frequently, and it should be stated, that he remembers what the practice of law was like, and he allows, when someone needs an adjournment because they have a family matter or some other matter, he's always very understanding of that. I don't get to speak to him very much because, judges are sort of in isolation, but I hear that about him all of the time, and, obviously it's really great that my assignment judge, Judge Telsey, is here. I kind of have two, Judge Blee and Judge Telsey are my two assignment judges in my legislative district, and they're both here today. And I know that Judge Telsey is here in support of Judge Ostrowski's renomination. So, I will be happy to move that, but I do understand that there's someone that does want to speak. Yeah.
Senator Testa, any other members have any questions at this time? Okay, seeing no others, Your Honor, we'll just ask you to step aside for a few moments, and David will call those that are coming up to speak.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Yes, we have two sign-up slips, both indicating opposition to the nomination. Mr. David Murray who has also submitted some written materials that are available for the members to review, as well as Mr. Jeff Golden. Again, both are indicating opposition, and Mr. Golden's sign-up slip indicates that he would like to speak last, but since it's only two individuals, we typically will do a panel. So if both individuals can come forward, and then when you get to the witness table, just, yeah, please remain standing. And I'm going to administer you, but we're going to wait for the other individual to come forward. All right, thank you, gentlemen. Could you both please raise your right hand?
Raise your right hand, buddy.
Do you both swear or affirm that the testimony about to give here today is true, correct, complete, to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief?
I do. I do.
Thank you.
You may begin. Please be seated. You may begin.
My name is David Murray, and I'm opposing Judge Ostrowski's reappointment. Judge Ostrowski handled a case involving my son back in 2019, 2020. The issue skipped through 3 different trial judges. Unfortunately, my son had an issue that was involved with DCP&P regarding child abuse. One of the issues was that DCP&P did not find abuse, but after my plenary hearing concluded in front of Judge Ostrowski and subsequent of waiting over a year for an appellate division, a court secretary had communicated to me a number of division records from DCP&P, including an NJ Cares report. The NJ Cares report indicated that there was physical abuse, and historical details provided by Mason, which is my son, indicates that he has had at least 2 injuries caused by his mother. These DCP&P did not find abuse because DCP&P excluded the NJ Cares report, which is a regional diagnostic treatment center, which acts solely based on, in part with the authority from the legislator. That's you guys. Judge Ostrowski didn't let these records into the trial. He denied my lawyer, David Garnes, review of these records on December 13th, 2019, while he let opposing counsel, David Ryan Nussey, review the entire file, which is an ex parte communication. This is a due process issue. This has cost me a significant amount of money in fighting for my son in litigation. It has deprived me of my parental rights for the better part of 2 years, and issues still persisted that when I went in front of a new trial court judge, Judge Chetney, who you recently affirmed, I represented myself and I prevailed in that matter. One of the other issues is that coming up into the proceedings with Judge Ostrowski, the presiding judge before him, Judge Ziegler, in an August 20th proceeding, had set the matter before Judge Ostrowski to be conferenced on November 8th, 2019. This was requested to be postponed by David Ryan Nussey, my opposing adversary's lawyer, who indicated the conference, the postponement of a conference, who indicated more time was needed to review DCP&P records, who indicated that the matter had not gone to deposition yet. Instead, where the evidence comes in that we were basically ambushed with a trial by Judge Ostrowski is not till the end of the proceeding in Judge Ostrowski's April 16th, 2020 memorandum of decision that reads in part, ultimately, the court scheduled a plenary hearing to resolve the parties' disputes. This was supposed to commence in November of 2019, but was delayed due to the circumstances beyond the plaintiff's counsel's control and was rescheduled on December 9th. This is indicated in my filings that I provided to this committee in my federal motion. But here we have, contrary to this, and I'll be brief, Judge Ziegler's scheduling order of August 20th, 2019, the judge before Judge Ostrowski, who set the schedule, that reads on line 5, the parties will return on November 8th, 2019 for an in-person conference, and on November 8th, 2019, it will also be determined whether or not to interview the minor child and a trial date will be set. That never happened. There was no interview. There was no conference about an interview. Everything was done sua sponte by Judge Ostrowski. My lawyer, despite what the trial record indicates, despite what the trial record indicated by Ostrowski, is that my lawyer didn't know anything that we were coming into a plenary hearing or a final hearing. Those exhibits are exhibited in the documents that I sent you, and also in the documents that I presented to this committee, is the issue of the appellate division, who was in the same federal lawsuit, that the appellate division supported Judge Ostrowski's erroneous finding that he somehow instructed my lawyer, David Garnes, days before December 9th, 2019, of a plenary hearing. However, that was contrary to, there's no fact to that. There's no trial record to that. That's contrary to the case law, which appellate division, under their review, are supposed to opine based on the evidence found within the trial record. That didn't happen. We had a trial by ambush with this. His orders technically are a null and void order. I've been fighting this ever since, and in both in the Salem County courts, in the appellate divisions, and in the district courts, want to keep throwing this under the rug. Here I have my son was physically abused. DCP&P committed a Brady violation, in part that the judge itself was, in my aspect, also committed a Brady violation, because now you have the government, which is withholding evidence of child abuse to be entered into the case, and not even given the privilege to my lawyer to review this, to raise any kind of arguments, to see the context of this matter. And you know who suffers ultimately? My son. My son, who went through 11 counselors, who was ripped out of a car by a state trooper trying to follow his orders, who was injured, got medical reports on the whole thing, right? That's okay in Judge Ostrowski's world, because he didn't see nothing wrong, although in 2020, in September, the trooper got reprimanded by the Internal Affairs Division.
Sir, if you can, I'm giving you as much leadway as I can. If you could just take the next minute or so to please wrap up, we appreciate that.
Yes, I'll be brief. I said, I oppose him. These kind of issues should not happen. The children are paramount to this state, according to Fantoni versus Fantoni. Not judges, not me, not you. That's what we have to focus on. And that man shouldn't be presiding over a bench during a timeout in Little League, as far as I'm concerned. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Sir, you may begin.
My name is Jeff Golden. I asked to speak last because I know that Mr. Murray has a very complicated case, and I know that he gets very emotional about it, and I suspected that he would not be able to get out some of the important facts. I want you to know that his son, Mason Murray, changed his own custody. He decided he had it with his mother. He left. He went to his father's house. He refused to leave. There were a lot of things that went on. He was almost not allowed to be enrolled in school. But the end result was that right now Mason is in the primary custody of Mr. Murray. He still sees his mother. He sees his mother when he wants to, but the kid himself had to turn this case around because the courts didn't do it right. And another thing that I want to say is this doesn't have to happen. This happens over and over again in family court. But there's a bill right now by Senator Palestina, S-163. In this committee, I think, if you guys would pass that bill, that would provide for a presumption of joint legal custody and equal shared physical custody of children following their parents' separation. There's a few other things in it also, but that bill would cure many of the child custody issues in family court. I can't understand why it's not moving anywhere. When I lobby legislators about it, people tell me, "Oh, I can't support that. That's a Republican bill." Why are you
Sir,
people putting politics
sir,
over
I
this?
need you to stay, with all due respect, I need you to stay on this nominee. We're not talking about the legislation at this point.
Okay. I've already said what I had to say about Mr. Murray's case, and I'm in support of him in opposing the reappointment of Judge Ostrowski.
Great. Thank you both for your comments. Do any members have any questions at this time of these two individuals? No, seeing none. Thank you both for your testimony and for coming here. If you may come back up, please.
Take this. That's not mine.
Your Honor, do any members have any questions at this time? Anything further? Do I have a motion? Send the test and I'll second it.
Roll call on the nomination. Senator Testa. Yes. Senator Corrado. Senator Palestina. Yes. Senator Bramnick has indicated a yes vote, as well as Senator Cruz Perez. Senator Singleton. Yes. Senator McCurgy. Yes. Senator Lagana. Yes. Senator Poe has indicated a yes vote. Chairman Stack. Yes. The nomination is released.
Thank you.